Dear Pastor Paul, why do we take the Lord's Supper?
The Lord's Supper has its origins in the Passover meal that was eaten on Passover evening. Now, one thing that's really important to remember is that the Jewish day actually begins in the evening, because Genesis chapter 1 first of all says there was darkness and then there was light. So Thursday evening is really Passover evening, and then the Passover daytime is on the Friday. So Jewish timing of the day and night is back to front compared to our Western way of timekeeping. And so on the Thursday evening, Jesus got together with his disciples to celebrate the Passover meal. And as he was celebrating the Passover meal, he took two of the symbols out of the Passover meal and began to apply them to himself. One of the symbols that Jesus applied to himself was the bread, and this bread is known as matzah. Now, matzah bread is very special in that it is unleavened, it is made without yeast, it doesn't rise, it's very flat, it has holes in it, it's pierced through, and it's also striped, as you can see on film. And Jesus took this bread that was unleavened, pierced through, and striped, and he said, "This is my body broken for you." This matzah bread symbolized the piercing of Christ's body and the whipping of Christ's body, and also his sinlessness, which is why it's made without yeast. So Jesus took this symbol and said, "I want you to remember that my body was broken for you." Also, during the Passover meal, 4 cups of wine are consumed by those gathered around. And the third cup is known as the cup of redemption. And Jesus took the third cup, the cup of redemption, and he said that this wine of redemption, which symbolized in the Passover the Passover lamb's blood that was spread upon the doorpost and the lintel, he said, "This is the new covenant in my blood." Jesus was now proclaiming himself to be the Passover lamb of the whole world. And if we drink of this, if we partake of him, if we trust in him and believe in him, then spiritual death and eventually physical death will pass over us too. So the reason we take the Lord's Supper is to remember his death until he comes again. So it's a constant reminder to the church of the gospel message that we should be proclaiming on a daily basis. Well, that's it for now. Thank you for stopping by, and remember, if you have a question, please be sure to ask.